All right, and we are live, guys. Another episode of Clams and Claws. Sunday, January 26th. Haven't done a show with Joey in a while on a Sunday afternoon, but we got a couple big football games later on in the evening, conference championship games. We will find out who is in the Super Bowl after tonight. But we got my good friend Joey Clams. How you doing, Joey?
I'm doing good, ready for championship week, trying to recover from last week. A
Let's
couple of
go.
bad beats.
Yep. So, yeah. But before we get into today's games, Joey, we can talk about the games from last week. Kind of crazy. So, basically, Chiefs took care of the Texans. No surprise there, Joey. Kind of expected that.
Um, well, here's where that game turned around. It turned around to me is when Houston went for that 50-plus yard field goal where I thought they should have punted the ball
Hmm.
and pinned the Chiefs back and let their defense do its job. He gave the Chiefs, he missed that field goal, and he gave the Chiefs the ball on the 45-yard line, and they came down and they scored, and I think that was the big turnaround in the game.
Yeah.
And it didn't help that in Mahomes' back pocket, he has a couple of the referees there on
Hmm.
those calls to get to get off the field on that big third down. So that to me, that's where the game changed, and it's just typical Chiefs. You think you got him. It was like you're too young. But when I was younger, Muhammad Ali, he
Hmm.
rope a dope you. You'd be throwing everything at him, and when you got tired, he waited for you to make a mistake, and then here it comes, the jabs, the combos. That's what the
Yep.
Chiefs do. They just wait for you to make a mistake, and they take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And that's what the Chiefs did.
For
And
sure.
yeah, you want. And the next game at night, the Lions game. I got a couple of things I'm gonna ask you, but
Yeah.
did it bother you? Did you think about this before the games that both your coordinators went on live job interviews that
Hmm.
week during that game?
Yeah, there definitely needs to be some kind of rule in place where they cannot have any discussions or communications with other teams or meetings with anybody else, in my opinion, until after the Super Bowl is over. The weird issue with it is all of these head coaching vacancies, they all take place in the middle of the playoffs. That's the way it's always been. I think the only team that's left is the Saints. I think everybody else's head coaching job is filled up right now except one. So it can kind of go both ways. And the coordinators that are still in the playoffs, guys that are on the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Commanders, if they're looking at another job, it's going to be hard for them to get that job because they're all filled up. So it goes both ways. But yeah, I did not like how they were already talking to obviously Ben Johnson was all in on the Bears. He signed the deal with the Bears to become their head coach. Aaron Glenn, I'm not so upset about because it was outside of our conference. I can understand why he went to the Jets, former player, got drafted by the Jets. He has connections there. But yeah, I was a little upset that there were some outside communications going on. And had we won the game, I would not have mind, but we obviously lost the game and we didn't come to show up. So I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah,
I, I
45 yeah,
I
45
might
minutes
give
ago,
I
we
might
didn't we
give
didn't show up.
I might give Aaron Glenn a little bit of a break because he was really playing with a wounded staff, defense on the defensive side, and I heard there was three guys on the Lions defense today that a lot of season ticket people didn't even know who they were.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we had 16 guys on IR. A lot of them were on defense. And then like the first play of the game defensively, we lost one of our best cornerbacks, Amik Robertson. He broke his arm in half in the first like 2 minutes
Jesus.
of the game. So as soon as that went down, it was all hell was about to break loose.
Do
But
you
yeah,
do you think Ben Johnson called a terrible game or a bad game or a couple of plays with just
yeah, I think
just keep it simple and let the run
yeah.
and let the offensive line win the game for you?
Yeah, I think we definitely should have ran the football more. Gibbs should have had more carries, in my opinion. It was weird because Montgomery came back being absent for a month. So I think they were like, okay, how do we fit him in the mix when Gibbs was running the show when he was on the sideline? So it should have been Gibbs's game. I think we should have ran the ball more. 5 turnovers. I mean, that's really hard to win football games when you turn the ball over 5 times. But I think for the most part, I mean, we played well. It's just the turnovers really killed us. And then we had, 16 guys on IR on defense. Like you said, Aaron Glenn, he was dealing with practice squad players and he did all he could with what he had. I think, we could have won this game. It's unfortunate, but I mean, instead of 5 turnovers, it's 2 turnovers instead. I think we win that football game, but it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
And the press conference, Campbell's press conference, a couple of people I talked to, they says that looking at him at that press conference, last year's loss weighs heavy on him.
Yeah.
Because you know what? He said you could see he didn't want to say, but that last year's loss really weighed heavy on him. I want to know, did that come into your mind like we had it last year?
Yeah. No, well, and that's just it because of injuries. You don't know when you're going to be in that position ever again. And last year, that was probably the closest we're ever going to be in a while. And who knows what's going to happen next year? Goff could break his leg in half, God forbid, on the first drive of the season next year. You just don't know. Injuries happen all the time. So, yeah, you got to capitalize when the opportunities are right in front of your face. And we just didn't do it. We got a couple of people chiming in, Joey. We got a Doggy Dog World joining us. What's up, Doggy Dog?
Doggy Dog. He's got a new casino they opened up out by him. He's right. He was there on the grand opening. He was the first one there.
Nice. We got our friend Clayton. What's up, Clayton? How you doing?
Hey, Clayton.
And our good friend Kurt Valenti. He says, look at this combo. Let's go. Buffalo run it 40 times today. By the way, no team is beating the Knicks 4 out of 7 in a best-of-7 series. 2 more additions to the bench during the trade deadline, I think he's saying, and we're going to paradise.
Yeah, I talked to Kurt this morning. I wanted to ask him about the Jets' new GM that came from the Broncos, and he said he was an LA guy, and he helped pick Peyton and helped in the draft with the quarterback. So we'll see what happens there. It's just, again, I got nothing against Aaron Glenn, but as a Jet fan, I wanted a coach that was already a coach, because as a Jet fan with this franchise, it's just so dysfunctional. I think that's what we needed. But this is what happens when you wait a year too late. You should have fired Sala at the end of last year, and you had a bunch of coaches out there that would have been able to change his franchise. But I'll give Aaron Glenn the benefit of the doubt and see what happens, because Farrah Fawcett could walk into that building and walk out the back door full of pimples.
There you go.
That's how the Jets organization is.
We got Kenny chiming in as well. What's up, Kenny? How you doing?
Hey, Kenny.
I think you'll like Aaron Glenn. I think he's just one of those defensive-minded coaches, getting his opportunity with the Jets, obviously former player there. I still think the Jets have a great defense. They just didn't execute this year, but I think Aaron Glenn will turn those guys around, hopefully.
Overrated defense. When you're 31 against the run back-to-back years, how could you say you're a great defense? But they'll hang their hat on that.
Yeah.
What about that Rams-Eagles game?
The
field goal kicker for the Eagles.
Yep.
A couple of people were driving down there with a couple of axes and saws looking for his leg.
Yeah, Jake Elliott. He's been interesting in the playoffs, so he's going to have to kick a couple big kicks today. We'll get into that. But yeah, I mean, Rams made it a great game. Hurts, he was really struggling throwing the football. It was the Barkley show, ran all over the Rams defense. But then the snow came down, and you saw Stafford had an opportunity to go win the football game. He had the ball in his hands the last minute and a half in the game, and then just couldn't execute. But they drove all the way down, I think, to the 20-yard line. So what were your thoughts on that, Joey?
Oh, I got hooked, that. Because Friday I went to lay 6 with the Eagles. It was up to 6.5, and I wanted to buy it down to 5.5. They wanted to charge me $162. So I was like, you know what? Eagles are going to win by the touchdown. They could have, but you missed 2 extra points and the safety. Mm-hmm. My God, the language, the language that came out of my house. My poor TV, brand new TV too, 65 inches, got abused. And what about that Buffalo Bills Baltimore Raven game last week?
couple more comments.
Baltimore.
We got,
Baltimore.
yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we got our friend Burnell chiming in. What's up, Burnell? And
Hey,
then
Bernal,
Doggy Dog
baby.
saying the Jets are pigs. No offensive line will continue to suck until they fix that. Says
Wow, you really he really went for he really went dig deep on that one. Ask
Yeah,
him what's going on. I'm hearing he's a Steeler fan. I'm hearing rumors that the Steelers are going to be done with Tomlin. Are they crazy? What's going on?
yeah, that would be nuts if they
And
let Tomlin
last week,
go.
Buffalo, they got out yarded by the Ravens. Just that the Ravens turned the ball over a
Yeah.
couple of times. That for they were we'll get into that when we talk about the Buffalo Bills and the Chiefs.
Hmm.
But
But yeah, Bills and Ravens, Joey. Bills came away 27-25. Opportunity to tie the football game. Ravens went down, got the touchdown, and then Mark Andrews dropped that game tying 2-point conversion.
the fumble was the big one when he fumbled the ball at midfield.
Yeah.
That was because you know what, the Bills took their foot off the gas at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
They scored 6 points in the second half, and that one of the field goals was a big one by Bass, and it was on the turnover because Baltimore they were in gear. They were ready to take over that game.
Yeah.
But turnovers happen, and that's what it is.
Kenny's saying Eagles got lucky. They had business or no business passing the ball at the end of that game, especially bootleg with Hurts.
I know,
His
I
leg.
didn't talk to Kenny, but I'm going to tell you right now. I know Kenny's on the Commanders. I can tell right now. Kenny's he's all. I could smell it. He's all over Commanders.
What's up? Return the belt. Yeah, kind of a fun side note, Joey. Burnell and Omari return the belt. Their cousin / nephew is Devontae Smith for the Eagles.
Oh, okay. I think we remember. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So good luck today, guys. That'll be a fun game.
He's going to have a big game today. I think he's going over his prop yards.
There you go. So yeah, you want to get into the conference championship, Joey? Do you want to throw out your bonus hockey game really quick, and then we'll get into the conference?
Ottawa Senators on the money line.
Senators.
Yeah.
You think that's 3 units or 5 units?
Go 3 units.
Okay.
Go 3 units on the Ottawa Senators money line. That came from Lenny from Toronto. He's a hockey handicapper, friend of mine.
Sounds good. So yeah, first game, NFC, Joey. The Cardiac Commanders, they killed my hearts and spirits for the Lions last week. Jaden Daniels is no joke. The way he's operating in the pocket has been unreal this season. They're going into Philadelphia, though, Joey. Let me see what the spread is. The spread is Commanders are +6, and the over-under's 46.5.
Yeah, that total tick down a half a point or a whole point.
Mm-hmm.
The center for the Eagles is going to be moved to guard, and the guard's going to be playing center.
Yeah.
But the defensive tackle for Washington is out, and so is their one of their offensive tackles is out. I'm going to ask you something. Washington, they won, but do you think that was more because of the injuries on the Lions, on their defense that helped the Commanders get through that game and win? Do you put any hashtag or a little bit on it?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Eagles are in this position in time have a way healthier roster than the Lions did last week. Lions, I mean, like I said, they had 16 guys on IR. They didn't have their best cornerback in that game, Amik Robertson. Now you're dealing with Darius Slay, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Cooper DeJean's having a great year for the Eagles. So definitely a way more improved, upgraded defense Commanders are facing this week.
This is their 4th game on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go by trends, rookie quarterback is 0-5 in championship games. But here's another one. Teams that play on Saturday, they're 17-3 the last, I think, 10 years getting to the Super Bowl. The teams that usually, because that's the number one team that usually plays on the Saturday, the number one seeded team. So that's Chiefs and that's Eagles.
Doggy Dog saying he hates the Eagles, but they're too strong. He thinks they win by 13.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
They're ready for the backdoor cover.
There you go.
The line is 6 and 46.5. I think the Eagles are the better team, but I think they're going to sell out and try to stop Barkley
Yeah.
and tell a wounded quarterback try to beat us with his arm.
Hmm.
I think they're gonna put 8 in the box as many times as they can and try to stop Barkley. I see the prop on his yards went 130 and a half down to 129 and a half, and I see 128 and a half out there. If that
Hmm.
means anything, unless you think it's a little too high, I don't know. But I like the Eagles here to win the game. I think they could cover also. Like I take a lot of what happened last week was because of the injuries on the defensive side of the Lions. So I'm gonna go. I like the Eagles in this spot. I was on the over earlier, but now I don't know because if they sell out the run, if they sell to stop the run, I think this game is going to be close by that number. But I think the Eagles could win by a touchdown. You
Hmm.
know, 2 extra points last week in the safety. That was 4 points. I like Eagles in this spot.
Nice. Kenny has a couple touchdown props he likes. He likes Austin Eckler and Dallas Goddard, their tight end, to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
Beat some money. I like it, Kenny. Anything else, Joey? Commanders, Eagles.
Just that, and who do you like in this game?
I I'm gonna take the points with the Commanders. I just don't really trust Jalen Hurts throwing the football quite just yet. I think they're gonna try to. That's their entire game plan is to try to stop Saquon Barkley. Good luck doing it. Eagles, they're home. Commanders, like I said, if they strike first, this is going to be an interesting game. So I'll take the Commanders plus the 6. Might buy it up to 7.5. But I think this is going to be an interesting game. But I'll go Commanders plus the
I got
points.
a live parlay going from Monday. I had Ohio State minus 7.5. I got the Bills plus 3.5, and I got the Eagles minus 4.5 on a parlay. Is going to pay almost a nickel, 500. So
Nice.
I'm live with that. But
There you
four
go.
and a half was the opening line, and but it's up to 6, and it was juiced to 6. Now it came back to a solid 6 minus 110 on both sides.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah.
Chiefs and Bills, Joey. Main event 6:30 tonight, CBS. Kansas City right now is a minus 2-point favorite at home. Over unders 49.5.
Yeah, I handicapped this game all week with it and talked to a bunch of other guys. There's about 10 ways everything points towards Buffalo. And then one guy says, why even go crazy? Chiefs minus 120 on the money line at home.
Right.
That's it. That's what
Yeah.
he said. Well, you know what? I can't blame anybody for that.
Hmm.
Here's the thing today, the referee that's refereeing this game, Mahomes, this is Mahomes' kryptonite. He's only 5-4 when this guy refs.
Mm.
So that's you know that's something to look out for, and he calls a lot of offensive holding penalties. So that's
Gotcha.
something in there. Who do
Yeah.
you like in this game?
Um, it kills me because as a football fan, I'm rooting hard for the Bills. When the Lions played the Bills, just nothing but respect and love from Bills Mafia. They've had a rough history in the past, losing 4 straight Super Bowls in the '90s. Haven't quite got there yet. Still haven't won a Super Bowl. They're hoping Josh Allen can be Superman today and lead them the way. But like you said, this is an entertainment business, the NFL. The Chiefs are home. I would love it if the Bills pulled off the upset. If I had to bet money though on this game, I would it's hard for me to take, like you said, Chiefs at home money line. It's just probably going to come down to a final game winning drive. Whoever has the ball in their hands last. I just think that the Chiefs are going to get it done and they're going to try to three-peat this year.
Yeah, I like the Bills. Josh Allen. He's gonna have to try to get that running game going. He's gonna have to big players, big stars make big plays in big games, and we know Patty Mahomes always does that, and Allen's been doing it. But this is the game. This is the only thing standing in their way most of it every year.
Hmm.
And out of all the 4 coaches, I think this one he's on the hot seat. Out of all the 4, this one he has to win. He has to get to the Super Bowl. People
Hmm.
say Sirianni, he got there. This
Yeah.
game, he's got to break the wall down in Kansas City. He's got
So
to pull down that teepee up there.
yeah. Doggy Dog likes the Chiefs and the over. He says he likes to see Josh Allen win, but he don't think it's going to happen. And then Kenny's also saying Dawson Knox and DeAndre Hopkins for touchdown scorers he likes.
Like that. Yeah, like doggy dogs. Yeah, that total is starting to take up a little bit. I'm on my big play in this game is Buffalo Bills team total over 23.5.
Nice.
So they got to get, if you want a chance to beat the Chiefs, you got to get at least to 24 or even more in this game, and I think they could do it. It's just that it's going to come down to me. It's the biggest thing to come down to is the coaching. Who's the better coach? And like I said before in the beginning, Andy Reid, they just wait for you and wait for you to make mistakes because they don't really cover games. We know that. They win last minute.
Yeah.
They win by 2. They win by 3. They win by 1. They get lucky. But you know what? You always need luck. Like when the Yankees went on that run in the mid '90s, you had to be lucky too. It's all about luck. I mean, he's got Buffalo's got weapons. Shakir, I like him over his 4.5, 5.5 receptions. He's got to move the ball around. Maybe Cooper, he shows up today over 17.5 yards. Maybe he gets the ball. Allen's going to use his legs. What's the defense is big on Kansas City. They're going to try to stop the run and try to stop Allen. He's got to make big plays downfield. Kansas City's going to try to run the ball on Buffalo. Buffalo's defense is a little undersized, but they're really good, and Milano's is back. Is playing good. You got Bernard back. This is going to be a real tight game. I think this is Buffalo's shot. I'm gonna take the Bills to win, but with the points, this game might even come down if it goes into overtime. 2-point going for the 2-point conversion. A team might win by 1.
Yeah.
So if you like Buffalo, take the points, and if you like Kansas City, just go bet them on the money line -125.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good game. So yeah, good luck to your guys' teams. Eagles, Commanders should be a dog fight. Same with Bills and Chiefs. Any final last thoughts, Joey?
Yeah, a good friend of mine. I grew up with a big-time football coach in Staten Island, Jimmy Munson. His sister Gina Munson Persico passed away at 56 years old. Jimmy was a Tottenville High School football player. Went back there and coached and bringing the team to 2 New York City titles, PSAL titles, and now he's the defensive coach for Wagner College, and he was big time coach for Tottenville High School. And his sister Gina, and she's got 3 kids, and the husband passed away a couple of years ago, to Frank Persico. So my hearts go out to that family, good people, the Munsons and the Persicos.
For sure.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Good luck this week, and we'll see you guys next week.
So who's in the who's in your Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be Eagles and Chiefs.
Eagles, Chiefs.
Yep.
Okay, I'll go with Bills, Eagles.
Bills, Eagles, nice. All right, have a good rest of your weekend, guys, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Get up to that window. Go put some money down. Go put the money.